Hi everyone, in this video let's check out the Leica M2 and why it's my most used camera and why it could be a great option for you as well. Let's check it out. So let's jump back in time and start with the history of this particular Leica M2. This little beauty was produced in 1958. It's actually one of the early versions of the Leica M2. You can see it has the button rewind as opposed to the lever style rewind, which came with the later production runs. It also doesn't have a self timer. I was able to pick this camera up about 8 years ago for a great price. It did have a broken rangefinder window and a few dings, but I sent it off to CameraWorks in the UK where they performed a CLA and repainted it in this beautiful grey finish, which was inspired by Leica's original military cameras from the 1950s, which were painted in a grey finish. It came out beautifully, and you can see here it's starting to brass and wear, which adds to creating a beautiful patina with this camera. So one of the first reasons why the Leica M2 is my most used camera is because it just makes you want to go out and use it. It's beautifully built, made from brass, built to last a lifetime. This is a camera you can carry around all day. It's not too heavy, but it just gives you that enjoyment when you're out there using it. And that is a massive plus because, as we know, it's the camera you have with you which is really the best camera. Let's check out some of my favorite images taken with the Leica M2. The second great attribute of the Leica M2 is its history and build quality. You know you have a special part of history in your hand when using this camera. It was produced in what many might consider Leica's golden era of the 1950s, built alongside the legendary Leica M3. It is built like a tank, and despite being over 60 years old, still works like a dream. The body shape is quite compact, but being made from brass does have a dense quality to it, and it looks so classic. It really does make you want to pick it up and use it. One of its great strengths is that it has a super quiet shutter. As rangefinders don't have an internal mirror, they are generally very quiet, but Leica M cameras are especially so, as they also have a cloth shutter. This is the shutter sound from the Leica with a cloth shutter. Music to the ears for sure. I never get tired of it, and it makes using this camera on the street very discreet. One of the greatest strengths of the Leica M2 is its versatility. Although it was introduced after the Leica M3, it does have the more universally usable frame lines of 35mm, 50mm and 90mm, compared to the Leica M3, which has the 50mm as its widest frame line. For most users, unless 50mm is your absolute go-to, having the 35mm option is a massive plus. I often use the 28mm on the Leica M2, framing with the entire viewfinder, and it works perfectly. So for me, the M2 effectively offers the frame lines for 28mm, 35mm and 50mm, covering some of the most popular focal lengths for rangefinder users. Another standout feature of the Leica M2 is that all frame lines only appear as single lines. There is no pairing with another focal length. This is quite unique, and aside from some bespoke a la carte Leica MPs or Leica M7s, is exclusive to the Leica M2 straight out of factory. This design really enhances the shooting experience, making the Leica M2 a really versatile and great camera companion. The final strength of the Leica M2 that I'll mention is its simplicity. While many other cameras have better features, autofocus, auto exposure, auto advance, the Leica M2 is purely mechanical. It has no electronics, no light meter, you even have to set the frame counter manually. And while for some this may be a hindrance, I think it really makes using the camera an immersive experience. You really do become at one with the camera when you're out there using it. And I think that is such a great feature. Here are some more of my favourite images taken with the Leica M2. So negatives of the Leica M2. I think for this style of camera there are two main negatives. The first is the lack of an inbuilt meter. You can attach an external meter to the cold shoe or use a handheld meter, but I think not having that inbuilt meter can be a bit of a pain. The second is that the shutter speed maxes out at 1/1000th of a second. It would be nice if it went a bit faster, especially when it's a bright sunny day and you want to shoot your lens wider open. But overall, for this style of camera, I think they are the two main negatives I can think of. So all in all, the Leica M2, what an amazing camera. Built to last a lifetime. It inspires you and makes you go out and use it. And that really is the most important thing. It's the images we create when we're out there taking photos. And the Leica M2 is a great companion for that. So for all those reasons, this is the camera I would recommend. If you're looking for a film camera to be with you for the next 20 or 30 years, definitely consider a Leica M2. You certainly won't regret it. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and we'll catch you in the next video. Have an amazing day and keep shooting.